Hello, and welcome to tonight's installment of the Lincoln High School Film Festival, the first of its kind, hopefully the first of many to come. We're super excited tonight to have one of our judges joining us, Mr. Tony Dupay. Uh, if you wouldn't mind, please, can you introduce yourself for us and for our students? What do you do now? What have you been working on? What's something that you're working on now that you're super excited about? Oh,
Hi everybody. Thank you for having me, and thank you for having me a part of the festival. It was really a treat to watch everybody's work, and I really enjoyed it. And it was hard to pick the best. There were so many bests. I thought every film was extremely credible, well thought out, well executed, and most of all, looked like everybody's having a lot of fun. And that's a big part of filmmaking is having fun. So I've been doing this for a long time. I started at Shoreline Community College when I was 19, back in 1983. I took a theater class out there, fell in love with theater, and then finished up, got my associates there, went on to Western Washington University and got my bachelor's up there, and then went and got my master's down at California Institute of the Arts, all studying theater. Kind of weird to go to Los Angeles to study theater, but that's what we did. And hung out in LA for about 5 years after that and did primarily directing work and directing a lot of theater, a little bit of film work, but not that much. And then we decided at a point, like, we're doing a lot of theater down in Los Angeles. We should move back to Seattle because it's such a theater town. Came back up to Seattle. This was 96. And was exploding. There was so many film opportunities up in Seattle at that time. They were shooting commercials. They were shooting TV. They were shooting film. Northern Exposure was big at that time. And there was a lot that was going on. So didn't really book any theater jobs, started booking film jobs. So that's what I was going out for primarily, and it worked really well when I started teaching too as well. I started teaching at Shoreline Community College in 98 and have been out there for almost 24 years now. So it's a nice balance, whereas theaters, if you do theater, it's pretty much that's your day. You're rehearsing during the day and then you're performing at night, hopefully, if you're keeping the jobs going. So there's really not much time to do film work, but there's a balance there with teaching that I was able to still, take some time off during breaks and be able to do the camera stuff. And then it just kind of happened organically that our department started to build. More people were coming out there. We were creating more opportunities because of connections that I and other faculty members were making, like Chris Boosted and Lindy Boosted, who are also panelists for the film festival. So it's growing, and it's growing to a point of where, I don't know, it feels like we've got a really good thing going out at Shoreline. So if anybody has any questions about our film program or any other film programs in the state, reach out to me. You can grab the information. So that's what I've been doing. I've been acting since I was 19 years old, teaching acting since I was 35 years old. So it's been a long, long time, but it feels like a blink in the eye sometimes because it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. extremist group called the Proud Boys to, quote, stand back and stand by. Trump also later urged his supporters to watch polling places.
I took that as a direct threat, along with other language like they're coming to destroy your suburbs and they are coming to destroy your businesses, your shops. I thought that Trump saw more value in his black voters than he showed.
But McMillan says former Vice President Joe Biden did not do enough to secure his vote.
I don't feel like either party has black people.
34 states report new increases in cases. Connecticut now seeing its highest level of infection since June. Officials in Michigan now warning the state may be seeing a second wave. And hospitals in Oklahoma on the brink. Doctors say every ICU bed in Oklahoma City is taken. The state's mask mandate has been extended through December. While in Wisconsin, more than 3,000 new cases and a record number of deaths reported Tuesday. But overnight, a different message from President Trump.
Who's had it? Who's had it here? Who's had it? Yeah, a lot of people.
TV meteorologist Ginger Z with a forecast you don't want to miss because
you're right now immune.
Wildfires.
The president telling a jam-packed crowd in Pennsylvania that they're immune if they've had the virus, an unproven claim which doctors warned could be dangerous.
We shouldn't be cavalier. There are people going to get reinfected, and some people will get reinfected and be sicker the second time.
Across the country, cities are seeing new clusters linked to so-called super spreader events.
We have not seen an event like this before at any time throughout this pandemic.
Near New York City, at least 37 people were infected and hundreds are now in quarantine after a Sweet 16 party. In Brooklyn, school officials are accused of flouting safety restrictions that forced classrooms to close. Hundreds of students could be seen here leaving one school and piling onto buses. Meanwhile, health officials say new outbreaks in offices around Boston could be linked to carpooling. The fight against COVID facing a new setback as another major drug trial is put on hold. Pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly pausing phase 3 of its testing on its antibody cocktail, citing undisclosed safety concerns. This marks the second trial to be postponed in as many days. On Monday, Johnson & Johnson paused its phase 3 vaccine trial because of an unexplained illness.
Is there something in particular that made you say yes to being a juror, considering, you know, Lincoln is a pretty small community, and we don't have like a super prevalent film program? Like, what made you say yes to this?
Well, because my mom's a Link. She went to Lincoln, and my grandma went to Lincoln too. So that was the first one that I've got an emotional part of me that really cares for Lincoln High School because I grew up with it. And I wanted to support the program. I think we need more film programs and more schools across the state and within the city as well too, because you are the ones that are you're the future of the community, and the more that we have young people studying in middle school and in high school and in college, we can keep the community here in Seattle. It's a small community, but it's a strong community, and the primary work that we're doing now is more commercial work, corporate work, and passion projects with short film. But if people stay here and we train more people and we stay here, we could build that, maybe bring back television, maybe bring back feature film. So this becomes like it was in the 90s and early 2000s where there was so much production going on. So I am all about helping with any program get started and stay going.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate all the time that you've given us and for just your commitment to expanding film scene here in Seattle. One more question, like what characteristic, what part of film contributes most to your appreciation of it? Oh.
Wow, it depends on the day sometimes. You know, I think coming from an acting standpoint, because I trained as an actor, I can get blown away from an incredible performance. But I think as I'm getting older, I'm understanding and appreciating the direction part of it because it's so difficult. That the director, she has to have everything visualized, pre-thought out before getting on set, and that's just working the imagination to a way that's incredible. So it's almost like theater when you read a play and you visualize the play as you're reading it. The director has to have that skill times 1,000, where he or she is just seeing every bit and every piece, and then being able to know when to kind of step back and let the artist do their work. So there's this balance that they have to have. That's just, and you see it. You see really well directed films, and there's a difference between kind of that formula type film that the director's just kind of sitting in a chair and they're going to do what they're going to do because they're going to do it. That's the way they do it. And then you watch these special films, and you know, the direction just can't help but stand out in a good way because you don't see it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think directing is more and more what's been fascinating me lately. So I've been kind of digging into that more myself as well.
Awesome. So what was your biggest challenge when you were becoming a filmmaker?
Wow, it's the auditioning and just getting used to the fact that we're going to audition probably our whole lives. and it's that numbers game, and it doesn't mean that you're not good enough for the part. It means someone else got the part. But just, that was a hard part. Just realize, oh, wow, I'm going to audition probably 100 times this year, and I'll be lucky to book 4 jobs. And that's a good year to get 4 out of 100. So that was the hard part, just to have patience and to not beat myself up and not judge myself on not getting the job, which is pretty easy to do. Like, why didn't I get it? I was so good. What did I do wrong? You can't beat yourself up. So that's probably one of the hardest things as far as when I first started, and it doesn't get any easier. Every job I should get.
Thank you. Yeah, dropping gems of knowledge left and right. Just like one final question. What advice would you give to high school students hoping to enter the field of film? Like, maybe they don't know it yet, but like what piece of advice would you give?
That's a great question, and I get that a lot too. And I preach this heavily. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. Do it yourself. Don't rely on anybody else. You've got the skills. You've got the people. You've got the equipment. You can put it in a backpack and go shoot stuff. Don't rely on anybody else. Back in the day when I was starting out, I had to be on other people's sets because I couldn't afford to build a set for myself. It was too expensive, and I didn't have the resources to do that. Now you do. With the equipment that's available to you now, you can create your own content. You create your films. You find that group of people that you like to work with and keep creating intellectual property. Keep creating film. And it's amazing how quick and how fast you'll grow as artists just by doing it yourself. And you'll get the recognition as well, too. You will.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good luck with the festival. I hope it goes great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for having me, and we'll see you all next year.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Mark.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Finn Westover. I am an avid cyclist and mountain biker.
Do you remember the first time you ever went mountain biking?
Yes, it was at Doothy Hill. I was, I think, maybe 10 years old. It was for my dad's work. He worked at a bike company and they had a Doothy Hill day. And I got to ride a little full squish mountain bike. And it was really fun. My favorite thing about mountain biking is the mindset you have. You're like in your own world. You don't think about anything else. And you're just focusing on your riding, having fun, and the trail and what's in front of you. Yeah.
Do you remember when the first time you ever went mountain biking was?
I really don't, but I remember I think it was around Tiger Mountain, either Raging River or Tiger Mountain, and I was with my dad.
If you want to, I'll get you flowers waiting around the bend. Baby, let's just pretend. I wanna stay like this forever. I wanna stay right here with you. I wanna stay right here with you.
How do you overcome fear in mountain biking?
You just do it. That's the honest, short, horrible answer. You just gotta do it.
So let us walk right into the forest, to the trees and the rising sun. It is something we can't outrun. I do whatever it takes to hold you, whatever it takes to you. Wanna be in this game for two. When it all comes down, do you feel alive? Are you feeling lost? You were made to fly, but you're so much more than a memory. It is not easy. It's a shame still waters run deep.
My favorite part of mountain biking is for sure the freedom it gives me, because it lets me go out and like enjoy the forest just by myself and my bike. And it's always fun ripping down a nice trail.
As the rest we fall, till it all breaks down. But I need it so I will stay around. And when you're all messed up, it's a great relief to be understood. It's a shame still waters run deep.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel B, and I'm a student at Lincoln High School.
What was the first time you mountain biked?
The first time I mountain biked would probably be when I was around 6, and my dad took me up here. And it was a horrible experience because I was just super out of shape. Yeah, the cabin is just a place that's full of good vibes. You come up, you build jumps, you ride jumps, and you just have a good time with your friends. Lucas and I have come up here and filmed a lot of good edits because you can build any jumps you want and you can just have a good time. The only limit's your imagination.
What does mountain biking mean to you?
Mountain biking is an escape where you can get out of the city, get into a quiet place, and just send it.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust, is my friend or my foe. I'm a exit, draw, yeah, she give me that claim I was wrong. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at artists, silly on Bob, Bambi. Baby's yellow, taxi. Just wanna eat me like candy. Running through racks, track me. I run up the racks like an athlete. Big facts, you're the dick, 6 lanes. Ballin' like think fast, told her I love her. I ain't really mean that, yeah. Nowadays these people are friends. Remember way back, she was love. These bitches sneaky can cough. I got 4 stick and top. I remember I was selling dog food, no kibbles, just to get me some scribble. Remember I was really on the block like Tetris, just to get me some chip. Surfing, rock in the parking lot, my weed lighter, and like the gave up a lot. I be on her mind like non-stop, yeah, had to cut the love, not no tomahawk. Remember smoking blunts with my friends, seconds a couple of days, yeah, lost a lot to the fan. That's the shit got me upset, but at 8, then I finally thought, yeah, I'm smoking with side. 4-4, I'm a zombie, this a girl, but she want it. These little boys think I'm cocky. My bitch feel like Mary Poppins. Yo, bitch feel like an ice. Smoking on killer, I eat a coffee. My bitch drip like Mary Poppins.
Mountain biking means a lot to me. It's therapeutic. It really helps if I'm like really not focused. I can just get outside.
A lesson in mountain biking that I use in everyday life is perseverance, because if you don't use perseverance, then you can't get to that next step you want to get to.
Just send it.